Hello fellow gamers, this is Razor Rosar. This is the beginning of my Let's Play of Eversion, my first Let's Play. Eversion is an indie PC platformer that was developed as part of a competition on a forum to see who could create the best game based on a Lovecraft quote. Eversion did not actually win, but it's probably the best known game to come out of that competition. And it does have an HD Steam version. I'm playing the freeware version, but if you've got $5 to spare, I recommend you pick up the version on Steam because it's got a lot more. It's got a lot more to it. We're going to go ahead and get started right here on the first level. Alright, you move left and right with the arrow keys. You jump with up. You tap the spacebar to avert, but we can't avert right here. As per usual, you have these blocks with faces on them. Hitting them makes gems pop out of the bottom, and you can see at the top of the screen that we've got a fixed number of gems per level that we've got to collect. Alright, these are our enemies, pretty standard. They look like, you know, little Goomba things, just like most platformers since Mario have had. Alright, as you can see, we can't get those gems right now, because they were above the clouds. But right here is an aversion point. You notice how the screen gets darker when you're standing there. That means you can switch between the layers of the world. In the top right corner, you'll see that it went from world 1-1 to 1-2. On this layer, the clouds are solid, meaning that we can now jump up there and get those 2 gems, which I will now proceed to fail to do several times. Alright, there we go. And I almost fell off again. Alright, so we got the gems. And we're going to go over here and get these gems on top of this other cloud before we avert back. Alright, now at this point, we actually cannot progress while we're in this layer, so we have to avert it back to layer 1. Now we're going to jump under here and get these gems down here. Or make them appear, I should say, not get them. Of course, we have to jump on top to get them. And we're going to do that. Jumping across, getting gems. Pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward so far. That's what happens, you know, it's pretty standard stuff. You got 1 hit, but you do have infinite lives. So there's no... If you get stuck, just keep trying. There's absolutely no reason to quit this game. Unless, you know, you need to take a break, eat, sleep, something. Alright, flagpole at the end, just like Mario, and world clear with 100% on the gems. Now, the gems, I'm going to go ahead and tell you unlock the true ending. And there was my mouse. If you don't get all the gems, you get 1 ending. If you do get all the gems from every level, you get another ending. Alright, so here's level 2. Or not. Okay, let's try that again. Here's level 2. And, geez, that was a lot harder than it needed to be. Alright, still getting gems. We see more clouds. No, that's not an aversion point. I thought it might be. And see, we can't get to those clouds down there because they're not solid right now. So, we'll have to find an aversion point later in the level, and then come back and get those gems. You've got a good bit of leniency in where you can land on the platforms here. I cannot believe that just happened. Actually, and it was right before the checkpoint triggered. There was a checkpoint right there, and I missed it. I can't believe that. Why is it so hard for me to kill these enemies? Anyway. Die. Anyway. Like I was saying, we're going to have to go back later in the level, after we found an aversion point and averted to level 2. Or World 2-2, I should say. And get those gems. For now, it's really a crapshoot whether you can kill that guy or not, but you don't need to jump on that platform anyway, so I'd just avoid him. And here's our aversion point. We're going to go ahead and get this gem, and... Okay, we're going to die, apparently. What I was going to do, we're going to jump up here, and get these... Kill this guy, after 4 or 5 tries, and get these other gems on the clouds before we head back and get those ones we missed. And there we go. I actually had to edit out about 8 or 9 deaths right here because I suck. And then I almost died again after that. So finally, moving back on over to the part where those gems were. Pretty simple. You can actually hit that from right there, but it takes me a minute to realize that. You gotta make sure you're not gonna get killed by the enemy. I don't think those enemies actually have an official name. They're just little mushroom-looking things. The main character does have an official name. His name is Zee Tee. And he is... Officially, he is an asterisk. I am playing this game as an asterisk. Alright. Now, if you notice, there were still those other faces back there that were trapped in those trees. We could not get through those trees on this layer because they're solid. Now, if you noticed right here, the world is changing color again. And we have now everted to level 3. Now, as you can see, the world changes slightly every time you avert. On this layer, the clouds are yellow, the trees are slightly wilted, the enemies have no mouths, and the faces on the blocks, as you noticed, had little straight lines for mouths instead of the smiles that they had in previous levels. But, so, I guess in later levels, we'll see exactly how far the world is going to change. Jump onto this enemy, and finish the level with 100% gems once more. Now, I am going to show both endings, but I'm not leaving any gems behind because there's some later levels that I always miss the first time I go through it, so I'll just leave those behind so that I can show off both endings. Alright, this level involves a lot of zigzagging and averting between layers. I'm going to go ahead and hit these blocks. I'm going to try and go ahead and do all this in one life, but right now we can't get up there because of that brick block. On layer 3, we can move through there because of it makes the trees wither. Getting gems, avert back to layer 1. I almost forgot that one there. Alright. Averting back to layer 3. And over here, we can't get through there right now because the clouds are solid, so we're going to avert to layer 4. The enemies have stopped moving, the clouds are just silhouettes. We can jump through these blocks now, which means that we could have gone ahead and gone back and got those other gems, but I'm going to wait and do that here in a few minutes. You can run across those single space gaps just like you can in a lot of platformer games. You don't have to jump to get across those. However, we cannot get up there because there's no surface for us to jump and hit the blocks. We can't jump in only a one space high space, but we can break this block. And unfortunately, the block we can break through here, like this, is it's just too high for us to jump from the bottom, so we're going to have to come back and try to do that later. Alright, right here's another aversion point. We're going to avert back to layer 3 to make the clouds solid. This way, we can jump up here and hit this face, so we can, when we come back this way, we can jump up there and get all those gems instead of having to come back and redo this. Alright, we had to wait on him to get to the edge there, because if you stop him right there like I just did, you won't be able to get there, but when I waited on him to get to the edge, I actually died against him, so I decided to come back and get those gems in a minute. We're going to go back and get these gems first, because when you die, all the gems that you have knocked out of the smiles, but have not gotten, will reset. You'll have to hit the smiley faces again. Alright, like I said, you can break the bricks on layer 4 because they're cracked. You do not want to kill that enemy. Now, I actually made a mistake here and I had to do a cut here in a couple seconds, but what you want to do is avert to layer 3, or actually no, you're going to want to avert all the way back to layer 1. And I had to go back and hit the block again because like I said, I did a cut and had to die. Alright, you're going to want to go through all these aversion points and avert all the way back to layer 1. I believe you're going to want to avert to layer 1. Okay, no, you're going to want layer 3. Alright, now you wait on him to walk all the way over here. I actually did a cut because it was several frames and it was a lot of wasted time. You wait on him to walk over here, you jump, use him as a springboard to get up here on the battlements. Now that these clouds are solid, this is why you can't do it on layer 1, you have to do it on layer 3. The clouds are solid and you can get up here and get these gems. Actually, this time I forgot to hit the smiley face over here where these other gems are, but I went back and did that off screen too. So we're going to go over here, get these gems, you see the smiley face that I missed, but I'm going to cut right here because I actually went back and did that off screen. And now, when you move on, it automatically averts to layer 4, and you have a wall of darkness chasing you. Ignore these enemies for the most part because they're mostly just a waste of your time. And I do know how to get those gems, but it caught me by surprise like it always does, so I just skipped them this time. I'm going to jump on these enemies just because I feel like it, and there we go, we finished the level. with 35 out of 40 gems. And this is what I was talking about when I said there's always gems that I miss. So I just guaranteed pretty much that we're going to be able to see both endings. So I think I'm going to end this video right here for right now. So next time on Eversion, we're going to do World 4, and I will see you guys then.